From reality shows to live streams to social media, fans are now, more than ever, able to get a glimpse into the lives of celebrities. As a result, fans may feel as if they have a strong connection with their favorite stars, and many would not hesitate to offer support during times of need. But what happens when the celebrity that you thought you knew so well actually turns out to be a completely different person behind closed doors? Hey professors, today we'll be talking about the ongoing controversy surrounding K-pop idol Lee Ahreum. Ahreum, who was once a member of famous girl group T-ara, had an especially tragic start to her career, which rightfully garnered widespread sympathy from K-pop fans across the world. However, this once universally pitied celebrity has now been accused of a litany of shocking crimes, including scamming her very own fan base. From exaggerating illnesses, to lying about domestic violence, to even weaponizing her own suicide, Ahreum is seemingly willing to stoop to unimaginable levels just to deceive her sympathetic fans and extort them out of hundreds and thousands of dollars. And the worst part is, she's allegedly still doing it to this day. So what caused Ahreum to turn to a life of crime? And how did she go from being an innocent victim to a master manipulator? Well, buckle up guys, because today we're gonna deep dive into the tragic career and downward spiral of Lee Ahreum. By the way guys, because I actually have over 50 pages of research for this topic, I am going to have to split this video up into 2 parts. So be sure to check back in next week for part 2. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so let's start all the way from the beginning. Ahreum first came into the spotlight all the way back in 2012 as a fresh-faced and innocent 18-year-old, when she was introduced as the newest member of T-ara. For some context, T-ara was a girl group that had already been around for well over 3 years at this point, and they were actually already one of the most popular groups in the K-pop industry. Now, initially, this probably seemed like a great opportunity for Ahreum. After all, joining as a member of T-ara would have given her a great head start as a member of an already popular group, right? Well, sadly, this proved to be far from the case, and Ahreum honestly couldn't have joined T-ara at a worse time. You see, there's a reason why people often say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this really should have applied to T-ara. The group had initially debuted with 6 members and had already achieved great success. However, despite how well the original lineup was doing, T-ara's company Core Contents Media still made the strange decision to randomly add new members into the group. It began with the first new member Hwayoung, who was added in December of 2010, followed by Ahreum, who was then added in June of 2012. These abrupt lineup changes caused major issues within the group, and literally not even 2 months after Ahreum joined, T-ara got into a huge bullying scandal that basically wrecked the entire group's career. We're not gonna have time to dive deep into what happened today, but if you're interested, I actually did a video about this scandal on my channel a couple of months ago, so you can check it out here. But to give a very brief summary, basically it all started when Hwayoung had a public Twitter argument with some of the other T-ara members. The whole thing blew up into one of the largest scandals in K-pop history, with most of the public believing that the T-ara members were all bullying Hwayoung. This caused T-ara to lose their popularity overnight, and the group was severely cancelled. Like, I don't even think I can stress how bad the backlash was. People were literally burning their CDs and booing them at concerts, and for years, the group suffered from boycotts and widespread hate, not just from K-pop fans, but also the general public. It wasn't until 2017, so 5 years after the original scandal, that the truth was finally revealed. And as it turns out, it was actually the supposed victim Hwayoung who was the real bully. Aside from just not getting along with all of her teammates, it was discovered that Hwayoung and her twin sister Hyoyoung had specifically singled out Ahreum as the main target of their bullying, likely because she was the newest and youngest member. And in a series of leaked text messages, the sisters can even be seen threatening to cut up Ahreum's face. This was definitely one of the biggest mess-ups from the K-pop court of public opinion. And while it was good that the truth had finally come out, it had arrived way too late. And those 5 dreadful years had already had a severe impact on Ahreum's mental health and career trajectory. I mean, think about it. Not only was she getting bullied by Hwayoung behind the scenes and getting unfairly cancelled by the public, the scandal had also completely ruined her debut. She hadn't even had the chance to showcase any of her talents before the scandal hit. And with the public actively boycotting T-ara, most people had zero interest in supporting the group, let alone getting to know their newest member. And as for TV or radio shows, well, those were out of the question. No broadcasting stations wanted to touch her with a 10-foot pole, which all made it really difficult for Ahreum to get her name out there. As a result, Ahreum only stayed in T-ara for exactly a year before quitting in July of 2013. Initially, Core Contents Media announced that Ahreum would be re-debuting as a soloist, but considering all the stigma that Ahreum still carried with her as a former T-ara member, it was no surprise that the debut never happened. And Ahreum eventually left Core Contents Media in August of 2014. Following this, Ahreum would completely fade out of the spotlight for the next 3 years. The only time she ever made the news was when she posted these strange photos and captions on Instagram. Instead of showing any concern, netizens mocked her for this, and rumors began to arise that she was either possessed or suffered from mental illness, with some people even theorizing that this was likely the reason why she left T-ara. From the unfair accusations of bullying to getting laughed at for her mental health, I think we can all agree that netizens treated Ahreum terribly for years. And it wasn't until April of 2017, when the text messages from Hwayoung were leaked, that her reputation was finally somewhat cleared. Obviously, the public felt immensely guilty for falsely accusing T-ara of bullying. And overnight, Ahreum went from being one of the villains of K-pop to becoming an innocent, tragic victim. Regretful netizens flooded her social media with apologies, saying things such as, "Ahreum, I just wanted to say I'm sorry, and I feel so bad for Ahreum." However, the damage had already been done. And I truly believe that the years of being hated on, followed by the sudden flood of sympathy from the public, probably really messed with Ahreum's psyche. Additionally, it would be from this point forward that everyone would begin framing Ahreum as a perpetual victim, with her unfortunate circumstances and poor health becoming her main defining features. And I just think that all of this greatly contributed to Ahreum's downward spiral. In late 2017, Ahreum attempted to make a comeback into the entertainment industry. She signed with a small label called DWM Entertainment, and in October, she participated in the survival show The Unit. Fun fact, I was actually about to assume that everyone knew what The Unit was, but then I realized that it had actually taken place 7 years ago. So many of my newer viewers might not even have heard of this show. Crazy how fast time passes. Anyways, The Unit is a survival show that focused on rebooting the careers of unsuccessful idols, offering some of these contestants the chance to re-debut in a brand new project group. Naturally, most of the contestants on such a show would have been from relatively unknown K-pop groups. So Ahreum unsurprisingly caused quite the stir when she was initially introduced as a member of T-ara.
T-ara?
However, despite initially gaining attention for her associations with T-ara, Ahreum failed to make an impact with her actual skills. In fact, the only time she ever got any spotlight on the show was when it was related to her health issues.
그거 가지고 이제 신병설과 이제 연관돼서 올라가고, 네, 참, 그렇더라고요.
아름 언니가 진짜 연습
물 거의 못 나왔거든요. 언니가 너무 아파가지고.
살을 일부러 빼고 있는
다이어트 시키게 하라고 하루에 한 번씩 얘기 듣다 보니까
너무 굶지 말고.
이번 미션 때는 몸이 안 좋아서 병원에 자주 가게 됐었어요.
With these being her most notable appearances, it was no surprise that Ahreum ended up getting eliminated in episode 20, coming in at a disappointing 44th place. After her elimination, Ahreum left the K-pop industry once again. Initially, Ahreum claimed that she would be focusing on her acting career, but unfortunately, this never took off. Instead, the only updates that the public would receive from here on out would be regarding her tumultuous, and I mean tumultuous, relationships with men. In January of 2018, Ahreum announced her first public relationship with a rookie actor named Yi Sung-jae. But this relationship was relatively short-lived, and the couple was speculated to have broken up just a few months later. Following this, Ahreum had a whirlwind romance with a businessman by the name of Kim Young-gul. And after just 1 year of dating, the pair revealed that they would be getting married. As if that isn't rushed enough, the wedding then had to be brought forward because it was discovered that Ahreum was pregnant. And in the end, the couple got married in October of 2019 before Ahreum then gave birth to her son in June of 2020. So to recap, within the span of a little over a year, Ahreum had essentially gone from being single to getting married and having a family. Things were just moving incredibly fast. And as with many of these rushed relationships, it wasn't long before the couple's honeymoon period came to an end. In fact, by June of 2022, the relationship between Ahreum and Kim Young-gul had gotten so bad that the couple actually featured on the show Between Marriage and Divorce, which, as the name implies, is, well, for couples on the brink of divorce.
넘어가야 돼.
당연하지.
강하게 얘기해야 돼. 뒷거리로 얘기해야 돼.
보면 알잖아. 방송
방금
봐.
편집된 내가 어떻게 알아? 될거 아니야. 그럼 사는 게 정상이야?
Yep, just another nice, relaxing show to watch when you're lounging about. Anyways, I subjected myself to a few of these episodes, and oh my gosh, to describe the marriage between Ahreum and Kim Young-gul as tense would be a complete understatement.
행복했었단 말이지. 오빠를 만나기 전까지는.
왜?
몰라, 오빠는 자꾸 거슬리게 하잖아. 지금도 왜 자꾸 말이 그렇게.
벽이랑 말하는 것 같다 내가 지금. 얼마나 맛있냐 그냥 물어보는데.
아, 그래?
어.
난 근데 싫으니까 그게.
You can literally feel the resentment oozing out of every interaction, and I honestly have no idea why anyone would voluntarily watch this because it was stressing me out.
오빠는 나를 너무 불행하게 해.
But okay, what was the public's reaction, you might be asking? Well, unsurprisingly, the show wasn't all that popular, and not many people actually bothered to watch the full episodes. But in true netizen fashion, they still decided to comment and take sides. And of course, most people automatically took Ahreum's side. I guess some of these people might have been hardcore T-ara stans, or maybe they might have felt bad for all the unfair hate that Ahreum had gotten in the past, but basically everyone just assumed that Ahreum was once again the victim, this time of her husband's abuse. What a dirtbag of a husband. After everything Ahreum has been through, I will always stand by her side. Despite all the problems in the relationship though, Ahreum and Kim Young-gul decided to remain married at the end of the show, and things did appear to get better between them afterwards. In fact, just 1 month after the show aired, in July of 2022, Ahreum revealed that she was expecting a second child and claimed that the marriage was now so great that her and her husband were even planning for a third child. So it looked like this couple's relationship was improving very fast. Maybe a bit too fast. And that's the thing about these unstable relationships. One moment they're really, really good, and the next moment they're really, really bad. And sure enough, it was just 1 year later that this doomed marriage officially crashed and burned. In December of 2023, Ahreum made a baffling Instagram announcement. Firstly, she revealed that she would be divorcing Kim Jong-gul. Now, this wasn't exactly surprising to most people who had been following her story. What was surprising, though, was that in the same statement, she also announced that she would immediately be marrying another man named Seo Dong-hoon. Obviously, this raised tons of questions about the timeline of these relationships. After all, if Ahreum hadn't officially been divorced yet before pursuing another relationship, then that would imply that she had been cheating. But in response to this accusation, Ahreum claimed that she technically hadn't cheated because she and her soon-to-be ex-husband Kim Jong-gul had actually, quote, separated several years ago. Except, wait a second, wasn't Ahreum pregnant with Kim Jong-gul's child just last year? In fact, just 1 month after the show aired, in July of 2022, Ahreum revealed that she was expecting a second child and claimed that the marriage was now so great that her and her husband were even planning for a third child.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
But this wasn't the only red flag, because controversy soon started to arise around Seo Dong-hoon himself. Despite claiming to be a writer in his Instagram bio, court documents were uncovered showing that Seo was in fact an unemployed convicted felon who had just been released from prison. According to the court documents, Seo was sentenced to 2 years and 6 months in prison for fraud, threats, and sexual violence crimes. Several of Seo's ex-girlfriends also came forward with disturbing stories of extortion, domestic violence, revenge porn, and blackmail. And they revealed that Seo was someone who constantly used things like mental illness and suicide to manipulate others. Now, initially, fans didn't want to believe any of this. After all, they wanted to give Ahreum the benefit of doubt and support her in anything she did. But with so many holes popping up in her story, and with more and more shady information coming out about Seo Dong-hoon, even Ahreum's biggest fans were slowly starting to get a bad feeling about this couple. But just when it looked like the tides were about to turn against them, any and all criticisms were put to an immediate halt on the 14th of December, when Ahreum made the shocking announcement that Seo had allegedly attempted suicide. In her post, she directly blamed netizens for her boyfriend's suicide attempt, saying, "Because of all the contacts and malicious comments about my boyfriend, he attempted to take his own life. I want to ask those who caused this, are you happy now?" Obviously, the claims against Seo weren't just malicious comments, and there was clearly some solid evidence for it. But at the same time, obviously nobody wanted to contribute to Seo's suicide, right? And so, out of respect, people backed off and the criticism against Seo temporarily ceased. Meanwhile, Ahreum continued to face suspicions of cheating, but this too came to an abrupt halt in March of 2024, when Ahreum came forward with heartbreaking accusations of against her ex-husband Kim Jong-gul. In her statement, Ahreum accused Kim Jong-gul of gambling, domestic violence, and child abuse, claiming that he had defecated on the children's faces, hit her children, and verbally and physically assaulted her. Ahreum claimed that she had already reported the incident to the police and even included photos and voice recordings of her children as evidence.
어디로 던졌어, 재아를?
밖으로.
문 밖에?
응.
그래서 어떻게 됐어, 우리 재아?
다쳤어.
아팠어?
응.
Of course, these horrific accusations absolutely shocked netizens, and it way overshadowed any potential cheating that Ahreum might have done. Well, unless you're an alpha male podcaster.
Or
Children?
cheating, sorry. You think that cheating is worse than physical abuse?
For the
Sorry.
children, yes.
But for most normal people, obviously everyone was just glad that she had managed to get away, and they were disgusted by the alleged abuse inflicted by Kim Jong-gul. At least for now. Put a pin in this, by the way, because we will be revisiting this situation. Anyways, with all the recent string of tragedies, it just seemed like poor Ahreum could never catch a break. First, her boyfriend attempts suicide, and then now we find that she was actually suffering from domestic violence. People just couldn't believe how tragedies seem to happen to Ahreum time and time again, and any doubts that fans might have previously had about her was now replaced with floods of sympathy. Oh my god, poor Ahreum. I'm sorry for ever doubting you. I'm just holding back tears because this woman has been through so much. So it seems like the public was back on Ahreum's side for now. But you know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And it wasn't long before yet another controversy erupted, this time surrounding claims of fraud.
대로 돈을 빌리고 있다는 제보 내용이었습니다.
Here's
이에
Ahreum's
아름은
complicated web of life.
It all started back in early 2024, when some fans who had allegedly lent Ahreum money began leaving comments on her social media page. Initially, these messages were understanding, mostly just inquiring when she might be able to return the money. But as time passed, these messages increased in frequency and intensity, as people desperately pleaded for their money back. Finally, in March, Ahreum addressed this issue for the first time, claiming that she was once again a victim, this time of a fraudster who had apparently hacked into her Instagram account and was borrowing money using her identity. Someone is extorting money by using my name. I'm currently in hospital, but I have no problems with money right now. Since yesterday, my phone was taken away, and they've been acting like they're me. I believe it's fraud, so I called the police. However, just one look at the comments and things start to get a lot more suspicious. For instance, in this comment, a concerned fan who had lent money wrote, "Ahreum, you and your boyfriend sent a DM to me the other day to ask to borrow money. Are you saying it's a hacking? I was worried that you might have been hacked, so I asked you to take a real-time proof shot showing your face and 3 fingers, and you sent it to me right away. Can you please unblock me and send me a DM? I have all the photos and evidence sent by the culprit, but for some reason, all my comments have been deleted and I have been blocked." A hacker who looks exactly like the person they're hacking? Sounds suspicious. More people also started coming forward with evidence, claiming that they were messaged with loan requests not just from Ahreum's account, but also Seo Dong-hoon's. And some fans even had voice recordings of the couple requesting for money.
지금 돈이 몇 평소 없어서 그런 건 아니고 이제 벌어놨던 게 있었는데 지금 현금 가지고 있던 거를 이혼 소송 중인데
돈이 좀 부족해요. 아름이 팬분들도 도와주시고 계셔서 다행히 조금씩 마련하고 있는데
which all seem to directly contradict Ahreum's claims that she was hacked. Now, I just want to pause right here and give any K-pop fans watching a huge PSA. Please, please never lend money to celebrities online, especially through unofficial channels. I know that it can be flattering to have a celebrity directly message you, but honestly, if you want the experience of talking to a celebrity, you would be way better off using the sponsor of today's video, Talkie AI. Talkie is an AI chatbot featuring over 100,000 characters, ranging from AI versions of K-pop stars like Blackpink, Stray Kids, New Jeans, and many more, all the way to fictional characters, which means you can actually interact with or even play as characters from your favorite K-dramas. So I've recently started watching the show All of Us Are Dead, which, if you haven't seen it yet, it's basically about a zombie apocalypse in a high school. And you know, it just really got me wondering what I would do if I ever found myself in such a situation. Well, thankfully, I actually found a chat room on Talkie where I can pretend to be a student stuck at the school. So let's see how things go. Okay, so in this scenario, I'm not only having to run away from zombies, I also have to deal with the school bully Guinam, who's arguably even scarier than the zombies. So it says here, his expression was caught between a grimace and a scowl as he walked through the halls of brainless zombies he once knew and probably bullied. They'd occasionally bump into him and he'd give them a shove and a growl as he continued to roam the halls. Oh my gosh, that is terrible. Quickly runs away and locks myself in a bathroom stall. He looks around and then takes a deep breath and walks towards the bathroom. You know, maybe it's better to have Guinam on my side because he is really strong, so he might be able to fight the zombies off. I'm gonna try and get him on my side. Maybe we should work together, you know, to fight off the zombies.
Work with you? Why would I ever do that? I don't need you.
That's probably true. I can offer moral support.
Moral support? You think I need a babysitter? I can handle myself just fine.
Unfortunately, it seems like we haven't managed to get Guinam on our side just yet, but luckily, Talkie also has a call function where you can actually talk to the characters and hear their voices. So let's try this out with Guinam and let's hope that things go better this time.
What can you offer me?
I can be a good friend.
Friend. I could care less about friendship.
But I'm smart, so maybe I can help with like strategy.
What are you going to do? Think your way through the apocalypse?
Oh my god, that's so savage. So it looks like we were unsuccessful after all. Regardless though, I think Talkie is just such a cool app, and I love how you can literally speak to anyone or insert yourself in any scenario you can think of. So I definitely recommend you guys check it out for yourselves. It's actually completely free to download, and you can use the link in my description or scan the QR code over here. So huge thanks to Talkie AI for supporting this channel, and without further ado, let's jump back into today's story. Okay, so as I was previously saying, there was a lot of evidence that was surfacing, ranging from text messages to voice recordings, and all of this was compiled into a video by an entertainment reporter named Yi Jin-ho, who then posted it to his YouTube page. This video ended up getting almost 300,000 views and caused even more fans to come forward with similar stories. With such overwhelming evidence, it was just a matter of time before the public turned on Ahreum once again. And so, in response, Ahreum allegedly resorted to drastic measures. On the 26th of March, Seo Dong-hoon reported that Ahreum had apparently attempted suicide, but luckily, she had been rushed to hospital in time and ended up regaining consciousness 2 days later. Strangely though, the first thing she did when she apparently woke up was to immediately log into YouTube and leave a comment on that Yi Jin-ho video, saying, "It's so fascinating that this is the first thing I see when I regained consciousness from my suicide attempt. I will be suing you for spreading false information." Now look, of course this could very well be an actual attempt, so I'm obviously really glad that Ahreum recovered and nothing serious happened. But without meaning to sound insensitive, people were beginning to notice a bit of a suspicious pattern with these supposed suicide attempts. Netizens couldn't help but point out that it seemed like both Ahreum and Seo Dong-hoon had turned to alleged suicide the moment they were on the verge of getting exposed. But just when it looked like the tides were about to turn against them, any and all criticisms were put to an immediate halt on the 14th of December, when Ahreum made the shocking announcement that Seo had allegedly attempted suicide. With such overwhelming evidence, it was just a matter of time before the public turned on Ahreum once again. And so, in response, Ahreum allegedly resorted to drastic measures. Additionally, in both cases, the attempt was discovered and only seen by the other person. Ahreum made the shocking announcement that Seo had allegedly attempted suicide. Seo Dong-hoon reported that Ahreum had apparently attempted suicide. On top of that, they then used both of these suicide attempts as a way to silence the backlash and guilt trip their critics. Because of all the contacts and malicious comments about my boyfriend, he attempted to take his own life. I want to ask those who caused this, are you happy now? It's so fascinating that this is the first thing I see when I regained consciousness from my suicide attempt. And this isn't even to mention the allegations made against Seo Dong-hoon by his ex-girlfriends, who claimed that he had a history of doing this exact thing. And they revealed that Seo was someone who constantly used things like mental illness and suicide to manipulate others. All this just caused people to become more and more skeptical, which is a horrible thought. I mean, nobody wants to believe that someone would use suicide to their advantage like that. But with all the shadiness that was going on, unfortunately, public sympathy was starting to run dry by this point. And things only went from bad to worse for this couple on the 1st of April, when Dispatch fully exposed them for all their shady acts, which turned out to be even worse than anyone could have expected. But guys, this video is becoming extremely long, so I am going to have to end part 1 here. By the way, if it seems like I haven't been all that sympathetic to some of the things that Ahreum went through, then just watch part 2 and you'll understand why. I don't want to die over this 2.2 million. It's urgently needed, so please help me somehow. The couple had used photos of Ahreum recovering in hospital to beg for it was Ahreum who got arrested for child abuse. So be sure to subscribe and click that notification button so that you'll know as soon as it's uploaded. And with that said, I'll see you guys next week. Bye! Thank you for watching, and special thanks to my Patreon members for supporting my channel. If you'd like to watch reaction videos and other bonus content, then be sure to check that out on my Patreon.